Shakespeare's famous play, The Merchant of Venice, was set in the most exotic trading town of his time. A town that grew rich on commerce and whose wealth allowed great investment in both art and architecture.
Fast forward almost 420 years, and my next location is one of the most exotic in the world, Venice, capital of Veneto, and the next stop on my pasta pilgrimage.
Adam starts his pilgrimage in Venice, popping over to Verona for some glass blowing. Then he and Louis reunite and head to Verona to visit a restaurant built on top of an old Roman road.
This is my pilgrimage. Come share the journey with me.
As a rich and powerful trading city, Venice was home to many international traders with its very own commercial trading fleet. As a result, the cuisine of Venice was heavily influenced by the cultures of its trading partners, particularly spices of the East, and because of its location, much of its food cultures are based around fish and seafood.
Today, the cuisine of Venice is aimed at tourists, and the traditional dishes are seldom seen on a restaurant menu. The exception to this rule is a dish that has long been associated with Venice, a simple local food rather than a dish for the tourist, pasta fazool. I'm in Venice at Osteria Baccaretto, and their philosophy about food is to serve traditional dishes in a typical way. This dish, using beans, what's the name of it?
It's pasta e fagioli. It's very typical Venetian traditional meal. To start the pasta e fagioli, you need to put the beans on the water for 24 hours before.
So you soak the beans for 24 hours?
Yes, 24 hours. You must change it for 3-4 times, more or less, the water, and you work.
Okay. So this is where we're at right about now?
Like this, very good, like this.
So the beans are nice and tender?
You taste. And it's the chocolate cream of the beans.
Chocolate cream?
Yes, more, yeah. You want to try?
Let's do it, go. Definitely.
Okay, very
no
good.
Problems. How many more?
No.
Another one?
More, yes, more.
Strain that off.
Okay.
Okay.
And like this. Slowly.
So you're pushing through the beans through the sieve there, just making it into a paste.
You continue. And 60% more or less of the beans.
Okay.
Okay. You put the pasta. The pasta.
So you're cooking the pasta inside that brodo with all the beans?
Yes, together, all together.
Fantastic.
All together.
Heat high or low? Piano.
Very slowly, very slowly.
Slowly, because otherwise, I'm guessing,
the
beans will start to collapse, and you talk about the right balance of beans not being too soft, too thick, and you get the perfect plate.
You know very well. Where am I from? Australia or Italian?
No.
Venice. No.
Good Australia.
Good job.
Okay, Adriano, I think the pasta, is cooked.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Now I see what you're talking about, the chocolate sauce. It's beautiful, rich in colour, nice and creamy as well. Adriano, do you serve anything on top of it?
Yes. My suggestion is olive oil.
Olive oil, yeah.
But if you like, it's possible also the Parmesan or the fresh pepper, if you like.
A little bit of that, yeah.
And it's very important because this plate is very old, very typical tradition of Veneto.
Yes.
The vinegar, the white vinegar.
Vinegar?
Yes, because in the past the people is not rich. Olive oil is very, very expensive in the past.
Well, let's put some vinegar on there. Okay. May I?
Yeah, sure. Good. You like?
Adriano, I love it. I didn't think the vinegar would work, but let me tell you, the real richness, that creamy of chocolate sauce from the beans, the vinegar cuts through it, parmesan, the salt, the oil. Adriano, big thanks to you and your family.
Yes, thank you very much.
Seriously, for keeping the tradition alive and cooking these amazing typical dishes of Veneto.
After the break, Adam discovers that the innovation of Venice is truly reflected in its famous Murano glass. Veneto has a creative culinary tradition, and Venice has provided much of the innovative influence. It was the Venetian glassmakers that took old glass-making techniques and perfected them to make better quality, clearer glass. The glassmakers started their industry in the heart of Venice, but as more and more workers set up with more and more furnaces, it was feared that the whole city may just burn down. In 1291, the glassmakers of Venice were moved to the island whose name has become synonymous with premium quality artisan glass today, the island of Murano.
Veneto has been known for culinary innovation, but not only culinary. They've been able to take ideas and make them innovative. And today, I have Marco who's going to show me one of these innovative ideas of this area. Marco, can you tell me the history of this technique?
The technique is part of our tradition because Murano, you can't tell Murano without thinking about glass. So this is a technique that is very ancient. It comes from Roman Empire.
It's called graffito.
And the work consists in applying on the surface of glass 24 karat gold leaf. The piece is engraved. Okay. So when I apply the gold leaf, I scratch the gold. You see, when the work will be completely finished, I will fix the gold to the glass. Wow. The second step, not always but sometimes, will be the application of the colors, glass enamels that need to be fixed also with a high temperature. That will be lower than the gold. This is a family tradition. My family really passes this work from centuries to generation to generation.
Do you think I could have a shot at etching into the gold?
Yeah, you work on my work, so...
Yeah, I'm worried, just...
So try to be very calm.
Okay.
Breathful, and after you can try to make little lines on the stones here. Try to copy this.
Okay, I'll give it a go, look.
Perfect.
You sure?
Oh, I am. I don't let it. If it's not perfect, I stop you immediately. Days of work here.
Marco, look, I have to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to try on your work, and I really respect and appreciate your knowledge and the time to have a chance at that.
It's a work that if you don't love it, you can make it. So it's a question really of love.
There are a few restaurants that have a number of specialty seafood pasta dishes worth exploring. They use seafood from the laguna and traditional flavours to make great dishes. Il Gatto Nero here on the island of Verona is one of them. Ciao, Ruggero.
Ciao, Adam.
Ruggero's got this amazing spread of seafood in front of me. Ruggero, what's first step?
Okay.
Oil. Now, this restaurant has been established since 1952. Garlic, chili, and have a look at this seafood in front of me. It is so fresh, and I can't wait to start cooking with it. Ruggero, quando?
Two.
Tutto?
Yes. Bye.
All this seafood into this pan. Okay, bye. All right, have a look. Wow. Pomodoro?
Pomodoro.
Ok. Questo?
Ok.
Questo che dici?
Prosecco, vino bianco.
Vino bianco, Prosecco. Okay.
Stop.
Stop. So the seafood's just going to sit in the pan, take on the flavour of the tomatoes, the Prosecco. And what I've noticed, there's no salt on the table because the salt component to this dish is going to come from the amazing freshness of the seafood. And that's what it's all about. The sauce is going to create from when those clams and cockles open up, all that natural water and juice inside. It's going to create this amazing pasta dish. So the pasta's cooked, nice and al dente, straight from the water into the pan. More. Io.
Vieni qua.
Let's get it ready? Uno,
Oh,
due.
tac, tac.
Tac, tac.
Perfect.
Perfecto. Bravo. Have a look at the seafood, you know, all those clams were opened up. The smell is just amazing, but the sauce, all that natural water inside those mussels and cockles have produced our sauce.
Mangia. Prego. Poco.
Oh, okay. He's telling me just a little bit. I can't resist.
Mannaggia.
Molto bellissimo. Ruggero, grazie a tutti. Grazie.
Ciao.
No, ciao, mangiare.
Mangia.
Adam's next stop is a place heaving with wealth and opulence. Verona. Verona was an important city during ancient Rome, and as a result, it has a beautiful Roman arena at its heart. Verona was also the setting for 3 Shakespearean plays, the most famous being Romeo and Juliet.
Well, Louis. Wow, Louis, have a look at this. My goodness, look where we are, Louis. We're in Verona. So much character here, Louis, from the Roman influence, from the buildings. Oh my goodness, this is the home, Louis, of Romeo and Juliet. Have a look at... The pasta dish that I'm cooking today is bigoli in salsa pan biscotto. And the interesting thing is the pasta shape. It looks like spaghetti, but it actually has a hole through the middle. And Chef Simone is behind me making this pasta as we speak. Simone, can I have a shot at that?
Yes.
You think? I'm a bit worried. It looks like a bit of physical labor there. You gotta give it some serious workout. Simone, mannaggia. Woo! Is there any bigoli coming out there? Okay.
No, just a few.
Just a little bit, all right. Give it a good turn. Oh. More. Look at that. There's that spaghetti looking like pasta, but with the hole through the middle.
Olio.
Oil, some olive oil.
Olio.
Okay, no problems.
Cipolla.
Onions that have been diced.
Okay. Sardine.
So in with the sardines. What's interesting about this restaurant, they actually stumbled across an ancient Roman road underneath their restaurant from 50 AD, and they found this in 1988 and actually runs for 46 meters long underneath the restaurant.
During the work, the floor by accident is collapsing. And we are seeing only just a little part of the basement. I don't know what it is, you know? 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter. After we called the government, we called the archaeology, and we found 2 Roman temples and 1 Roman road.
That's amazing.
We worked for 3 years and we found the fantastic place.
Now,
Now is a farina.
farina.
Farina, this
Okay.
one, okay.
So he's adding flour. Now I'm guessing that's to help thicken the sauce, almost like a roux. So in with the pasta into the water. Boiling salted water, of course. So the sauce is ready to blend, Simone?
Sì, siamo pronti.
Okay. Feel that really smooth sardine sauce there. And once again, the pasta straight out of the boiling water into the pan. So a little extra sauce on the plate as well. This is where us chefs have our time to play and create art. So watching Simone do this plate of pasta for me is a real moment and a lot of respect. Because you don't just create this pasta in the kitchen, you create it in your mind, and then you physically cook it, and then you end up with this amazing final dish. Look at the time. So he's adding the pan biscotto,
Pan biscotto.
which is dried bread.
Sì.
This one, eggs. So it's like an egg
Some
powder.
eggs.
So he's adding back to, obviously the pasta's made from eggs, so you're giving that more richness with this egg powder thing. Wow. Look at that. Grazie, Simone.
Niente, è stato un piacere.
No, thank you so much. With all these wonderful ingredients and this very interesting pasta shape, I'm off to my kitchen to cook up my final dish.
Adam's next recipe has all the good stuff: spaghetti, seafood, and Prosecco.
Venice, what an amazing place, surrounded by water with an abundance of seafood, has given me inspiration for my next recipe: mussels and cockles with anchovy butter and tubular spaghetti.
For the full list of ingredients and method, visit Adam's Pasta Pilgrimage.
To start this recipe, we need to get our tubular spaghetti into our boiling water. Don't forget a pinch of salt, and straight in. Grab your tongs and just make sure all the pasta is submerged in that boiling water. Cooking with seafood, make sure you use fresh seafood. And especially in this case with mussels and cockles, there's a key to this one. When they're closed like that, perfect. If they open up, don't use them, no good. So, had my pan on just for a little bit, just get it nice and warm. Gonna add a good splash of olive oil. Grab my garlic and just the back of the palm, just give it a little bit of a squish and into the pan. I'm not gonna leave it in there. I'm gonna have it for a minute or so and then remove it. It's gonna be this light, subtle garlic flavor. All right, remove your garlic. Grab your mussels and cockles and straight into your pan. Give them a little flick. Okay, lid on. Get your heat up, nice and hot, and steam them for about just a minute, basically till they're open. Now, anchovy butter. I'm not using your good old standard anchovies. I'm using white, which have been pickled, so they're a little bit sweeter and not so salty. Into your little blender, some good quality butter, a little bit of cracked pepper. Just give that a blend. Our mussels and cockles have popped open there, looking great. Oh, I can smell the ocean there, definitely. Now, just a splash of Prosecco. Allow that to reduce by half to cook out all the alcohol. And I just add in a little bit more olive oil. Get my parsley ready to add. Just give that a quick chop, nice and rough. I'm gonna check my pasta to be nice and al dente. Now, tubular spaghetti has that beautiful little hole through the middle. So what's gonna happen when it hits our sauce, that sauce is gonna jump through the whole of the spaghetti and take on all the flavor. Okay, that's definitely ready. Straight into the pan. Okay, give that a flick like so. And a good amount of the anchovy butter to finish. So mix the anchovy butter through, making sure it coats all the pasta and gets the flavour of that little bit of saltiness, a little bit of sharpness from the vinegar into the dish. The only way to try this is,
Nice subtle seafood flavour, a little bit of acid coming from those white anchovies. Perfect. Buon appetito.
It's hard to beat the romance and beauty of Venice with its winding canals and rich history, but Veneto in general is home to some unforgettable places and people. From restaurant owners on Burano to passionate glassblowers in Murano, Veneto will always be one of Adam's favourites. Next time, Adam starts his pilgrimage in Milan.
This is gonna be fun.
And heads to Gorgonzola. He travels as far north as Teglio to learn the authentic pizzoccheri recipe. He also samples a Nebbiolo wine that grows in a region on the south side of an alpine valley. For this episode's recipes, stories and more, visit Adam's Pasta Pilgrimage